All right, everyone, I've assembled our crack team of scientists and discoverers for this lucrative and dangerous job. To my left, I have Quackerstein. He's head of R&D. What do you have to say for yourself? I see. And to my right, I have the Death Quacks. They are notorious for quacking things down, so to speak. I see one has already let the next step out with his egg. Have I gone crazy? No, you've gone crazy. Crazy with power. Crazy, I tell you. Where'd everyone go? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Skyblock Sun on the Siblings Den channel. My name is Wingless, and hoo boy, I think I'm losing my mind, but for good reasons. In the last episode, I mentioned how we had to change a lot of things and try to figure out what do we need to do next to try to move forward and see what our island can achieve. Well, I think we've gone and done it. And I think I'm going to go through a bit of a step-by-step, or at least a good enough breakdown so hopefully everyone can understand why we built things this way and why some methods mentioned by other people might not be as effective. Do I think that ours is the best? Who knows? But we did find another way that is very lucrative for those that are basically just playing this on their own. Our goal is always to make sure that if you are playing one player or you're playing with a group, you have just as much of an advantage of moving forward or gaining on the island top or any other methods while playing on the server. We really wanted to find ways for people to enjoy themselves and not feel that they are left behind too much by those that are ahead. And let me just quickly show you something. If you currently go to IS Top, our island, the owner being Chess Splitter, we're currently ranked 3 with IS level 320. That's right, everyone. We are 3rd on the Skyblock Sun server. That is crazy. That is nuts. What did we do to get there? Well, we worked hard, but a lot of our designs came from, well, can this be done with one person standing in one location, or do you need a bunch of alts? The answer is, if you have a bunch of alts, you will definitely get ahead. You can set this exact setup up and have multiple alts and then basically get ahead. But our design right now is strictly as if we were only one person standing in one spot and set up our design so that all of these spawners are active. We'll give you a kind of a little bit of a show and tell and really give you a breakdown of what we did before and what we did now and how much this has changed and how we can still actually upgrade our current system right now to still make us more money. Let's get started. Come and see our crazy ride. Fun fact, I really didn't like that we had obsidian all down here from how we had our lava set up. So I actually manually cleaned this all up just so that we could have a clean level for all the mobs falling down. But you'll see all the mobs are hitting on the ground. It's not looking all ugly with all the different obsidians and holes and whatnot. So I was kind of happy with that, but we extended it. And you'll see that this is the additional length that we went to from our original setup. So you'll see that if we go to the chunks, you'll notice that we've added about 3 lines out of chunks from our initial spot. And we also changed where the center of our whole farm is located, and it's from here where we have the heart. And from here, we are 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks away from the center, and we have that at each interval. So here's the heart again. So let's count this one as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can basically see from that center that we've gone 5 out at each location, and we end up having our center right here. And we've set it up so that each of our collection boxes, this is one of them right here, new AFK spot, part 2, electric waiting game, instead of Boogaloo. Anyway, we have all of our collection boxes picking things up on the 9x9 grid. Well, you'll notice that we have another one over there. Oh, this one has its 9x9, and it has this section. Oh, we have another one over there. And we have another one. This is actually one of our first ones here. Originally, this was our first collection box that we were streaming all of our collection and using this center spot as our tower, our blaze tower, to get all of our mobs into one area. Well, now we have multiple collection boxes. That was one of our biggest costs with this new system, is adding additional collection boxes. So if you're looking to do this, you will need a lot of collection boxes, and they will need to be upgraded to store a lot if you're going to be at the setup that we have right now. It was not cheap, but we had resources from other methods that we had done. We had traded experience, and we had traded some of our spawners before we found the new system to get a lot of shards, and it helped us kind of upgrade things up. So it might take some time, but at the very least, if you're already maxing a collection box, at least you've got the resources in there to sell when it's ready. But we at least got to level 12 for our collections, but this one right here specifically is our maxed one. All our other ones are either level 12 or a little bit higher, and so with that we're able to AFK and really get as much as possible. But you'll see all of our pillars have 2 sets of spawners, and the reason for this is that we are also using the combining auto crafters for the enchanted ender pearl. That means 5 times usage of the heart of the ocean and 5 times ender pearls. This comes from the Guardians and the Endermite spawners. The Endermite spawners are much cheaper, but they still upgrade very quickly, just like the Guardians when you try to do them. So what we reached out to do is that each of these spawners, at minimum, we're set up to have 50 of them. But you'll notice that where this collection box is located, there is none. No spawners are being dropped here. And that is the new change that we worked with this period. Now, to give a bit of a more aerial view, you'll see that in this section, there's only 4, but if we go to the next collection box, there's 5. Now, the reason we did it this way is because we found out that you can potentially lose drops if the enemies are spawning in a chunk nearby. This is something we sort of were aware of before the update that they had, but this one really changed the paradigm of how we needed to set things up. We couldn't have enemies spawn higher anymore because the server ended up upgrading the way that spawners are activated. And so even if it was much, much higher, well, it means that we're still gonna accumulate way too many mobs. And like we've mentioned before, at a certain point, if your mobs are too high, you end up having a waste of potential drops that you can get. And so we wanted to maximize as much as possible without so much loss of those drops. And this is what the system we thought about that works. Right now, at the very least, each of these pillars have at least 50. So you're looking at 200 at each corner for a total of 800 minimum with our spawn. Using that as well as our extremely overclocked island generator, and this had maximized a lot of the drops. But are we wasting? Are we way too big? What's going on? Well, we did some experiment and we wanted to show you real quick what it is that we did to confirm the length of how many locations can be active while you're standing there. Come check it out. Hi. Anyway, we went to a section of our farm from before and just decided to see, well, how far does it need to go before we started losing our mob? And so what we ended up doing is checking out which chunk we're at, and we just kept testing it from one distance and then another, and then we went to the next one. And we noticed that at 6 chunks out from, if you count the starting area, you stopped getting spawns being able to be collected. Now, we noticed that you could still have some spawning, but we weren't able to see them reach the point where they could be usable. We even attempted that to see if this was the case for not only spawning in water, but if they would fall and spawn and die immediately, what would happen? Well, it turns out that they would spawn, but they would start accumulating up and would only start dropping or despawn until we got a little bit close, and then you would only have that initial drop, and then that's it. You wouldn't really get anything. So we found out that through a bit of tinkery and math and just moving an extensive amount of spaces, how big we were able to make our location. So we realized very quickly our Blaze Tower was no longer our center, and we needed to build out another new center. And so while we love our little chill space and our little Blaze Tower, we ended up having to move all of our guys to another spot, and Senpapa ended up building ourselves a new little platform, and we now have spots for the whole group, and really just kind of knowing where to AFK in a loving location while everything spawns out. And you'll see, like, we haven't cleaned up some of our previous attempts of what we were looking into, but this really helped us grow out the amount of funds that we were able to get, and we make like near the billions now. I could do a circle of selling all of these items with a multiplier of like a credit booster or something like that, and it would end up being easily like in the millions in about 10 minutes. But then you could wait for a while, accumulate about 1 million enchanted ender pearls in each block, get a 9 million, and you would just be in the billions by the time you sell it with the multipliers that you have available. There are loads of multipliers that you can use to upgrade yourself. You can, without much effort, there is the credit multiplier that you can get of 1.4, 1.6, all the way to 2.0. The 2.0s, you can get them when you trigger the G-Kits from after voting. You'll get a temporary premium service, and with that you do /G-Kit, and during that period you end up getting a bit of a multiplier as well, but then you can also have a chance to win a credit 2.0. So you can use that, have a sell one. There are sell ones of Infinity 1.5. There are sell ones 2.0 that aren't Infinity, but just know that you're probably going to use up all of that in a flash as soon as you have one collection box. So it might be worth it if you've got a bunch of them and you have just a loaded collection box, but they're going to disappear super quickly. So an Infinity one is definitely a benefit, but any sell one as well. Reminder that you can sell at 50% loss without any sell ones from the collection boxes. So if you're just looking to make some money to move things ahead, you have that option as well. Lastly, if you're someone who's in PvP and you're definitely taking a chance at grabbing the credit multiplier in PvP, you are able to potentially get that and try to sell your stuff right after as soon as that is available. Loads of methods to do multiplying of what it is. Having your rank higher helps you with multiplier. Your island level helps you sell higher. There's loads of ways to increase the amount that you're getting each chance. And with all the amount that you're accumulating, you could have in the billions. I think we get 300 billion in about 5 to 6 hours from all our collection boxes if we have the perfect storm of all of their modifiers. And lastly, there is a pet that if you trigger their ability, you have a chance to sell at a much higher percentage as well. So that's another way that you can multiply. I believe there's a video from Finster that talks about his method of selling stuff and how he set his thing up. We think that is one way of doing it. Obviously it's not the way that we did it, but worth to take a look as well. If you feel that our method is better, let them know. If not, let us know if you found more success with Finster's method. We'd like to see what method is the best, just to see how the numbers go and go from there. But yeah, we've obviously done something that has worked out because again, we were able to reach 3rd in IS Top. And all credit to everyone who's reached this level on the top 10 islands, because while we do believe there's no way that we're going to get rank 1, we think we could get rank 2. But if you take a look at everyone that's part of I Simp for Femboys, the owner being Cleo, you're gonna see that they're holding on to billions of dollars each member. We tend to just spend it immediately and either level ourselves up or upgrade our spawners, as we have have loads of potential to upgrade and make even more money with our spawners, because most of them are still at 50, but it can just go crazy. Whatever method that you do, whatever method that you set up, make sure that you're having fun, enjoy, and just give yourself a challenge. And our challenge this season was really getting to the point where we were really reaching the top, and we were just impressed that we were able to get into the top 10, even more so that we were able to get top 3. And this is just from the ingenuity of us taking a look at things. Chest Splitter has been a great help. Morticia could be doing a little bit more. I'm still waiting for her to do something. She said she wanted to build something. What is she building? Waiting for it. Morticia. All right, everyone, tell Morticia to do another video. She needs to do another video. Come on. That's all I have to say this episode. I hope this has been helpful. Let us know what you think we should talk about next. I think we've done quite enough about spawners. I think this is definitely the end game meta for sure. And I think this is just one method that's really helped us kind of get ourselves up and running by having the Guardians above and the Endermites below in a grid pattern rather than each section, and really looking at the numbers strictly. But who knows? Maybe you know more on it. Maybe you see a fault in our design. Let us know. We'd love to hear all of the input from the community. Thank you very much for the team again for getting us past 500. We do have the community section unlocked on our YouTube. We will be using that for polls and other updates. If there's anything else that comes up, do let us know. And we look forward to showing you even more either reaction videos or new series in the next episodes. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later. Woo! Boo 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 boo. Do 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 da da da. Do 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 do. Yeah.